Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Thursday, December the 13th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, corporate Barbados steps in to lend a helping hand to water-scarce communities left without water tanks after Innotech Services Limited removed the tanks at the height of the impasse with the Barbados Water Authority. Now, Innotech and the BWA are at odds over the authority's failure to pay up to $18 million in debt over a 14-month period. At a news conference today, members of corporate Barbados chided the actions of Innotech, saying they had no choice but to act.
I think it's very unfortunate. As a matter of fact, I'm prepared to say it's unpatriotic of Innotech and also insensitive for them at this time to, having been the recipient of many contracts from the Barbados Water Authority, to take this action.
The taste in everybody's mouth after the events of this week is most unfortunate, and we're here to say we can now see how corporate Barbados rolls.
And Chairman Leodine Worrell was overwhelmed by the support. She says the new tanks will be installed as soon as possible. In the meantime, she disclosed the negotiations are continuing with Innotech and external negotiators appointed by the government.
Discussions commenced yesterday with the Innotech team and the external negotiators appointed by the government. They are progressing quite well. We have not yet gotten a full report, so at this point in time I can't exactly indicate where it is. But there are indeed contracts that have to be renegotiated, and this one in particular is one that needs to be renegotiated.
In other news this Thursday, the home of a Guyanese family at Harts Gap, Christchurch, was gutted by fire just after 10 a.m. Neighbors told Barbados Today they heard hissing sounds coming from the house and then a loud noise. No one was at home. 2 water tankers and 11 fire officers from the Worthing and Bridgetown Fire Department responded to the blaze. Rector of St. George Parish Church, Reverend John Rogers, will be sworn in tomorrow as the independent senator at Government House. It's believed that Rogers, who was recently a strong contender for the post of Anglican Bishop of Barbados, will replace Bishop-elect Reverend Michael Maxwell, who was unanimously chosen to lead the Anglican Diocese by the Provincial House of Bishops last month. Tributes have been pouring in for veteran entertainer Don Marshall, better known as Sir Don, who died this morning. The National Cultural Foundation said it was deeply saddened by the passing of the Calypso legend, who was a 4-time monarch. In a statement, the NCF said Sir Don had the gift of language, famous for biting and equally humorous lyrics. It also noted that he was never hesitant to share his immense talent, mentoring scores of the island's leading calypsonians. And reigning Calypso monarch Mr. Blood also paid glowing tribute to Sir Don, whom he described as his mentor and friend. Blood, who fought to contain his emotions, said Sir Don was a giant and would be sorely missed.
When he first came to me and brought a song, I couldn't help but think to myself, wow, here's a legend in my living room, sitting on a beer case and telling me he had this song for me. That was Calypso Owes You Nothing. That took me to 2nd place in 2007. He was always a happy spirit. That's what I can remember of. It's, you know, whenever he came, he was always smiling. He was always positive. He was always confident. And one of the things that he honored me with each time was to let me be the first to hear all of the compositions that he had, and allowed me to choose. So Don, you are gone, but you will never be forgotten. You will always be in my heart.
In sports now, the West Indies under-19 cricket team begin a 1-week high-performance camp today as they begin preparations for the ICC Under-19 World Cup in 2020. They will be under the guidance of the head coach, Graham West, and his assistant, Roddy Estwick, at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in Antigua and Barbuda. During the camp, they will also engage in interactive sessions with West Indies cricket great Sir Curtly Ambrose in a bid to boost their chances of victory in the limited overs cricket tournament. West says the main aim of the camp is to observe, assess, and educate the players, introducing them to the CWI High Performance syllabus. Every player will depart the camp with a training program that they will begin to work through in the new year through their territories.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. In Trinidad and Tobago, for the first time in a decade, the Twin Island Republic is reporting more than 500 murders so far this year, while police officials say crime is down and the detection rate is climbing. Residents and the country's top cop are not happy.
Trinidad and Tobago hasn't hit the 500 murder mark since 2009. With 2.5 weeks left to 2019, we're here yet again. Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith promised to put a dent in crime, and most may argue that he has, but with the numbers staring us dead in the face, some find it hard to see the light.
Well, I mean, nobody will feel good about that once you know what crime is, right? Because crime is something that goes against everybody. I mean, if you have a family that get killed, how will you feel?
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. It's not nice. During to like other countries and things, well, Trinidad, well, I had to say Trinidad gone clear. Because when you really check it, like you have to say like every minute, every second, we hearing about a murder.
It's not a pleasant way to feel. And I mean, things are getting from bad to worse. And I hope that the government, the Ministry of National Security could deal with it in a more positive manner in the new year coming.
Despite the grim milestone between Griffith's ascent to office on August 17th to Wednesday, December 12th, there have been a total of 156 murders compared to 175 last year. Speaking with TV6, the commissioner said that reaching 500 homicides is the most unacceptable milestone that any country can acquire. And he said he wouldn't call the 10% decrease a victory either. He added that in order for Trinidad and Tobago to see any drastic change, all aspects of gang activity must be totally eliminated, which would take several years. In the short term, he intends to work to at least cut the number in half.
And on the international scene, British Prime Minister Theresa May has said she will not lead the Conservative Party into the next general election. She told the media in Brussels on the sidelines of a European Union summit it's clear that a new leader is needed. May won a confidence vote earlier this week, but has vowed to listen to the concerns of the 37% of Tory MPs who voted against her.
In my heart, I would love to be able to lead the Conservative Party into the next general election, but I think it is right that the party feels that it would prefer to go into that election with a new leader. Thank you.
Does that mean you would leave immediately after Brexit? Do you have a date in mind?
No, people try to talk about dates. What I'm clear about is the next general election is in 2022, and I think it's right that another party leader takes us into that general election. My focus now is on ensuring that I can get those assurances that we need to get this deal over the line, because I genuinely believe it's in the best interests of both sides, the UK and the EU, to get the deal over the line, to agree a deal. But I recognise the strength of concern in the House of Commons, and that's what I will be putting to colleagues today. I don't expect an immediate breakthrough, but what I do hope is that we can start to work as quickly as possible on the assurances that are necessary.
And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now, you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.